Hey kids, it's August 9th, Sunday. We had a brilliant day today. We went to one of the famous beaches here and spent most of the day there. The weather was great, the sea was great, the food was great. Then we went to the old city where we used to live and had some brilliant ice cream. You had a lot of fun. Your mother also got a new phone because her old one was getting a little old. So all in all, a really good day. The only problem is my neck and shoulder. They are completely stuck. Last night, the older one of you came into our bed, the younger one kept crying, and somehow all four of us ended up sleeping together. Magical family moment. Beautiful memory. Terrible for my shoulder. Anyway, today I was thinking about money. The older one of you bought a few things. We were talking about prices, and it reminded me of something I want both of you to understand. We'll talk about money many times in these talks. Not because I want you to become materialistic. Quite the opposite. I want you to understand how money works so that it serves your life instead of quietly controlling it. So let me start with something simple. Imagine I have two 50-euro notes in my wallet. I take one and write, groceries. Then I take the other and write, fun. Maybe that means cinema, ice cream, or going to the beach. Now tell me, what actually changed? Nothing. They are still two 50-euro notes. The supermarket would happily accept the fun money. The cinema would happily accept the groceries money. Money does not know what it is for. We decide. Economists have a word for this. Money is fungible. Basically, 1 euro is interchangeable with another euro. A euro is a euro. Yet human beings don't really behave that way. We create buckets, food money, holiday money, savings, clothing, money for you, money for ourselves. And there is actually a very good reason for doing that. Imagine that every month I looked at our bank account and simply thought, excellent, look how much money we have. That would be dangerous. Some of that money will pay for our home. Some will pay for groceries. Some needs to be saved. Some may be invested. Some will pay for school, travel, clothes, or whatever else we need. So, mentally separating money helps us make better decisions. Your mother and I do this too. Most people do. But there is a little trap hiding inside those buckets. Sometimes we forget that we invented them. There is a concept in behavioral economics called mental accounting. It describes how we tend to treat money differently depending on which mental account we have placed it in. Let me give you an example. Suppose I decide, this month I can spend 200 euros on clothes. Near the end of the month, I realize I only spent 50 euros. Then I think, great, I still have 150 euros left. And suddenly I'm looking at shoes I don't really need. Why? Because somewhere in my head, that money is already labeled. Clothing money. It almost feels as if I am supposed to spend it, but think about it carefully. Yesterday, I had 150 euros. Today, I still have 150 euros. Should I buy something I don't particularly want, just because a few weeks ago I gave those euros a name? The bucket was originally created to help me make a sensible decision. Now the bucket is encouraging me to make a stupid one. That is the danger. The tool starts controlling the person who created it. Here is another example. Suppose you buy a 20-euro cinema ticket. When the evening arrives, you are exhausted. It is raining. You don't really want to go anymore. But then you think, I paid 20 euros. I have to go. No, you don't. The 20 euros is already gone. Going to the cinema will not bring it back. You now have another decision. Would I rather spend the next 2 hours tired in the cinema or comfortably at home? The money has already left. Only the future choice remains. That is also connected to something we talked about before, the sunk cost fallacy. We hate feeling that something we spent was wasted, so sometimes we waste something even more valuable, our time, energy, or attention, just to justify something that is already gone. Human beings are funny like that. In behavioral economics, writers sometimes compare perfectly rational imaginary decision makers, often called econs, with the rest of us, humans. An econ looks calmly at the situation and asks, what makes the most sense from this moment forward? A human says, but that is my holiday money. I already paid for it. There's still money left in the budget. I got this as a bonus, so I might as well spend it. And kids, I am very much a human. I do irrational things too. I use shortcuts. I create rules. I make budgets. I build routines. And I actually think you should do the same, because life is too complicated to reconsider every decision from zero. Imagine waking up every morning and asking, should I brush my teeth today? Should I save any money this month? Should I exercise? Should I answer my messages? You would waste half your life making decisions you already know the answer to. Rules help. Budgets help. Routines help. They automate some of our thinking. The lesson is not, don't create buckets. The lesson is, remember that the buckets are not real. They are tools. And tools should serve the purpose for which you created them. Every once in a while, pause and ask, if this rule did not exist, would this still be the right decision? That is a very useful question. If the answer is yes, great, keep the rule. If the answer is no, perhaps the rule has outlived its purpose. And eventually, I hope you realize this isn't really only a lesson about money. We do the same thing everywhere. This is what successful people do. This is what someone my age should have. This is the career path I'm supposed to follow. This is how our family has always done it. This is the plan. This is the rule. We create mental boxes because they make a complicated world easier to navigate. And again, that is useful. But eventually, some of those boxes may start limiting us. The rule that once protected you may later hold you back. The plan that once gave direction may no longer lead where you want to go. The career path you chose at 22 may no longer fit the person you are at 40. That does not automatically mean you should throw away every rule whenever it becomes inconvenient. That would be equally foolish. But it does mean your judgment should remain alive. This is something I like about Stoic thinking too. The Stoics care deeply about reason and judgment. Not blindly following impulses, but also not blindly following conventions simply because that's how things are done. Think, examine, ask what something is for, build systems, make budgets, create routines, set rules for yourselves. Those things can make life much easier. But every now and then, inspect them. Ask, why did I create this? What was it supposed to accomplish? Is it still doing that? And if following the rule no longer serves the purpose behind the rule, have the courage to change it. The same can even apply to some of the beliefs and priorities you carry through life. Your deeper values deserve careful thought and should not change every afternoon. But even there, you should occasionally examine whether the life you are living still reflects what you genuinely believe matters. Do not live on autopilot simply because 20-year-old you once created the settings. Keep thinking, keep checking, keep choosing. So yes, create buckets. They are useful. But remember, you created the buckets. The buckets did not create you. Use them to organize your money. Use rules to organize your life. Use routines to reduce unnecessary decisions. But never completely outsource your judgment to them. Automation is useful. Thinking still belongs to you. And do not ever forget, I love you both very, very much.